What's up guys, Saf here on SuperSaf TV and welcome to another Ask Saf Q&A video. We've not done one of these in some time, so I put out a tweet a few days ago and we had lots and lots of questions, so thank you for them. And I picked out a few of the best ones and let's get straight to it. Which setup in smartphone cameras do you prefer? Wide angle or telephoto? Oh, I've said this a few times before, so a lot of you guys may already know, but I do prefer a wide angle camera. That's just my personal preference. I know a lot of other people who prefer a telephoto camera. But generally, for the type of photography that I do like having a wide angle camera, and that's one of the reasons why I like the G7, LG G7 so much, and I generally tend to carry it around with me, especially when I'm traveling. I guess the ideal situation will be having 3 cameras, one normal angle, one wide angle, and one telephoto. I'm sure we're gonna see some of those next year. What do you do when you're not researching and making videos? Now, a lot of people still seem to have a bit of a misconception that content creators like myself spend very little time making videos and just chill out for the rest of the time. That's definitely not the case. Videos actually take a long time to produce. I'd say on average for a video here on the channel, we're looking at between 1 to 2 days. That involves researching the video, getting all the facts together, actually setting up and filming the video, then editing all of it, thumbnail, etc. It can take quite a bit of time, and if I'm doing 2 to 3 videos a week, which I generally aim to do, then that takes up most of the working week. And what I do outside of the time, well, because I am now running a business, this is a business, there's lots of other elements involved. There's lots of emails, meetings, phone calls, negotiations with sponsors as well, because of course, to make this a viable business, there needs to be some income, and that generally comes from sponsorships, but also attending events and doing things outside of YouTube. So for example, last week I was in London for 2 days. One day I was at an Instagram event, and the other day I was actually filming all day with BBC Three for a program that's going to be coming in August. Whenever that is live, of course, I'll be sharing some details on social media, so make sure you're following me on there. And I'm going again to London this week as well, working on a charity project. So there's always so many things going on, and as a content creator, there are no 2 days which are the same. Generally, things can vary. If you're asking me what I do outside of work, then I enjoy spending time with my friends, going out for a meal or something. I enjoy going to the gym. I try to go to the gym at least a few times a week just to try to stay somewhat fit and healthy. And I tend to watch quite a few movies. Movies are a great pastime for me. I tend not to game too much because I have no control and I get addicted, and I tend not to watch too much TV. Marvel or DC? Right, that's a good follow-up question from the movies question. And it used to be DC when we had the Dark Knight series. I was a huge fan of that. But since then, it has to be Marvel. I think Marvel are absolutely killing the game. I love the Avengers. Deadpool is probably my favorite superhero or anti-superhero movie. So yeah, right now it'd have to be Marvel. What about you guys? Definitely let me know in the comments below. Are you more Marvel or are you more DC? How can you stay cool all the time? Well, that's because of something called SuperSaf Style. I don't know if you saw the wink through the sunglasses. You probably, anyway. Do you have a bias of any sort when it comes to smartphones? Very good question. This is something that a lot of people wonder. Do tech reviewers in general have bias? And I think everybody has some bias to a certain extent, and that's because we're human. We all have personal preferences. Having said that, in my videos, I try to keep things as neutral as possible, and then I give my opinions, and finally, I leave it to you guys to make the ultimate decision. That kind of sounds like Philip DeFranco, but especially when it comes to comparisons of any kind, then I do try to give the positives, negatives on both sides of the argument. And what's interesting is in many of my comparison videos, if you read the comments, maybe if there's a comparison between an Apple product and a Samsung product, you'll see some comments that say, hey, great video. After watching this, I'm gonna buy the Apple product. And other comments will be like, awesome video, thanks for making it. I am now gonna be buying a Samsung product. And I absolutely love seeing that, because that goes to show that my aim in providing a balanced view has been successful. Hopefully most of you guys will agree. But of course, I do have my personal preferences, and that's something that I do try to make clear in the videos as well, that this is my preference. It might be different to yours. Did you get the refund from RED yet? For those of you guys who don't know, I was struggling to get my refund for the RED Hydrogen 1, which is a smartphone. Everything's explained in the video that's going to be linked in the cards and in the description. But after making that video, RED did get in touch right away, and I actually got a call from RED personally to apologize. Because this is their first smartphone, they had some issues in terms of communications between teams, and they have tried to address those, and hopefully going forward, if anybody else is looking for a refund, it should make things easier. And that's kind of the purpose of that video. It wasn't to trash the company down or anything like that. That's never my intention. My intention is always to improve experiences for myself and other consumers, and improving those experiences improves the company, and it's win-win all around. And I hope that video did serve its purpose by highlighting the issue to RED and helping them improve their processes. What do you think about the next Google Pixel 3? Right, so we've only had very brief leaks and rumors around the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL. Nothing solid as yet. But one thing I guess we do know right now is that the Pixel 3 XL will have a notch, and I know a few of you guys have opinions on that. I still think they're going to be some great smartphones. The Pixel 2 and 2 XL was some of my favorite phones last year. I still use the Pixel 2 XL for its amazing camera, so I'm really looking forward to the Pixel 3s. If you guys want to see a detailed leaks and rumors video of the Pixel 3s, then definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to work one up soon. What is your internet speed? Okay, a lot of you guys may be shocked to know, but my internet speed at home is absolutely rubbish, and that's because we have no fiber optic in this area. I know, it's absolutely insane to think that in the UK in 2018, there's an area that doesn't have fiber optic broadband, but hey, that is the case right now. So I struggle a lot, and when it comes to uploading videos, I tend to use 4G, or I go over to my parents' place who do have fiber optic. I'm hoping that they're going to install it here soon. I've been talking to local MPs and things to try to get things pushed forward, but we'll see. Got a question from Mika. Hey Saf, what do Apple have to do to make the new iPhone your daily driver? Right, so a lot of you guys may or may not know, but I actually do use an iPhone every single day. It's generally my second smartphone that's in my pocket at most times. And that's because I do like the iPhone, and I like to have a balanced view when I'm using devices. So I want to kind of make sure I'm up to date in terms of the experience of both Android and iOS. But there are certain things which I've talked about in previous videos when it comes to iOS that I struggle to get along with. One of those things has always been notifications and the fact that they're not grouped. So it kind of makes it impossible for me to use it as my primary smartphone. However, as you guys may also know, we are going to be getting group notifications for the next iOS version. Now, I've not installed the developer preview or anything like that, and that's because I still use my iPhone 10 for comparisons and things. So I needed to have a stable version of software on there, so if I was to install a developer preview, it's not going to be fair for any comparisons and things. And I'm hoping that with the new iPhones, I'm going to be able to use one as my primary daily driver, at least for a short while. And of course, I'll let you know how my experience is, so look out for that coverage. Right, last question here from my buddy Roberto Blake. What content do you watch on YouTube for fun? So of course I watch a lot of tech videos. That's just because I'm really into tech. But apart from that, I do like watching lots of science-related content. So there's a couple of channels. There's Krugstag, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, which is In a Nutshell. Videos on there are in English, don't worry. But it's a great channel for breaking down lots of different scientific topics in a nutshell, as the channel name is, with some great animations. And I watch pretty much every video that they post. They don't post too frequently. I also like SciShow. That's another channel which kind of breaks down lots of scientific topics, and I just find myself kind of binging on lots of those videos. And I also watch a lot of Philip DeFranco. I really like his coverage of the news. His sort of style is very, very engaging and entertaining. So I watch a lot of his videos as well. Now, these videos will change from time to time, but this is currently what I'm watching a lot of. I will link all those channels in the description below. And definitely drop me your recommendations of channels which you think I should check out too. And that's it for today's episode of Ask Saf. Thank you for all of your questions. If you want to be involved in future episodes, then make sure you are following me on Twitter. I'm at SuperSaf. I usually post something out there before I'm about to do one of these. And I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, you know what to do. Smash that like button. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch your notifications. We've got lots more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV. I'll see you next time.